already know just where I be, dog. I ain't being cocky, but Philly what I'm reppin'. Watch me check it like it's hockey. I ain't tryna get it twisted. If you get it, then you got me. If you with it, cool. If not, I'll treat you like a Tamagotchi. I'ma let you down point. Yeah, I never disappoint.
What's going on, guys? JHoyt back with you today. Welcome back to the Seattle Attack franchise mode. This is episode 9. If you want to catch the other 8 episodes, and including this episode being episode 9, there is a playlist that you guys can go check out. If you wait till the end of the video, on the end card there will be the playlist, or if you go on my channel, find the playlist. It'll be in both the NHL, and there's a special one just for the franchise mode that you can start episode 1 and move all the way through the series until this episode. So if you guys remember last episode, it was a big trade heavy episode, and our team was not doing well. I mean, I went back and I looked. In October, we were 3-6. In November, we were 4-10. In December, we were 5-9. So we're increasing wins every month, but the losses are still there. But then in January, 4-8, just not good. You know, the first half of the year. Second half of the year, so far in February, we are 8-5. So obviously we're doing something right if we have more wins than we do losses. So changes. Now we're not making any trades this episode unless we get something from the trade deadline. I don't have any trades planned. At least I don't have a piece of paper that says, you know, some trades. However, there is some change in lines. Now you guys will probably notice right away that the lines look a little bit different. So what I did was I went through the stats and I put whoever was performing up at the top, whoever was performing second best, second line, third best, and you get it. However, once we get onto the fourth line, you may notice a new player, Frederick Gaudreau. You're like, where did he come from? Well, Mr. Gaudreau has been down in the AHL this year and has been dominating 65 points in 62 games. So he has earned the spot up here. And I was like, you know what? If we're not going to make the playoffs, which at this rate we probably aren't, unless, you know, the February month determines our rest of the year where we're actually going to do well. But he's been earning it down there. As far as who we took out, Connor Brown, his overall dropped. Basically everything dropped on him. I don't know what it was. I ended up putting him on the trade block, just in case anybody actually wants him. You know, he can do that. On defense, we have the same thing. You know, all I did was I moved Martinez up and moved Brodin down, just because Martinez is just doing better, and you know, he's playing well, so we got to give him some time up there. Trying to give Brendan Smith some time up there as well to see what he does. But that is all that we did in between episodes. I just swapped on the lines a little bit and realized that Gaudreau is actually doing pretty darn well down there. But as for let's go look at the standings real quick to see what we need, because this episode we are going through the trade deadline and going into the playoffs. At least, hopefully, we make it to the playoffs. But as for the standings, I mean, we're sitting in 8th in the Central Division. We need to basically dominate the rest of the year in order to get in. But we sit 13th overall, so we do still have a chance. But we have to, you know, count on teams from basically from Arizona and down to choke out, essentially. Or we just need to do absolutely amazing. But Western Conference, we are not looking good. So we're in the Central Division. Couldn't think of what we were in for a second. But 56 points, you know, not horrible. We upgraded our team a lot, and the February record shows that. So without further ado, I'm gonna hop right in some simulating. But like I said before, we are not planning on making any trades. However, if some trades come about that are relatively interesting, we'll have to go ahead and look at that. However, like I said, I don't have anything planned. So let's simulate through. No, we already did that. You probably will see a couple of guys being signed. I forgot to mention, we signed this guy. Basically, when he first made the team with the expansion draft, it gave us a bunch of unsigned, horrible overall guys. And he is one of them. He's one of our goaltenders. We actually need a goaltender on the roster. And so he'll be down there. And also, we signed the Wolski guy that we got in whichever trade it was. He was a 73 overall, I believe. So we did sign him as well as one other guy that was on the free agents list. But Chris Russell, okay, 76 overall, 31 years old, at a horrible contract. Just, I don't even care what you're doing. Just get me out of that one. But looks like we do have a trade to look at. Looks like the Vegas Golden Knights are trying to acquire Connor Brown. Now we do have Connor Brown on our trade block. Looks like Vegas is in a very similar position as we are, and we do have players to replace him. But the 3rd round pick, that's probably gonna be the best we get for him, to be honest. Plus, we have players we could possibly get rid of. Would this help their team significantly? Because I'm kind of curious if it will or not. That's center. He is not a center. He is a right wing. See, this is what I don't get. They're trying to acquire him, and he'd fit in right here on essentially their 3rd line. I just don't. Okay, I guess they're needing players everywhere, and they signed everyone. They literally signed all of their people. That is hilarious. So they have, like, nobody in the AHL. But as far as we go, he's still got an extra year on his contract. We have Goudreau up there, and but hopefully he does well. Do we really want to do this trade? Because we have guys like De La Rose and Blandisi down there that are doing, well, have better overalls than him. Or the same overall, I guess. I kind of want to do that. Is this year's 2019? Is that this year? If it's this year, I might think about it. It is this year, but it looks like it's going to be horrible. Ooh, they got a lot of picks, too. No, let's accept it, right? He needs a fresh start. We need to just, get rid of him because he would be there, too. And plus, he's going to be sitting the bench probably the rest of the year for us. So, that's a good trade. But like we said before, we are going to have to turn on injuries because it is after the trade deadline. So, this is kind of the worst part because it takes a little bit longer with if anyone gets injured. But it makes it more realistic, especially after the trade deadline. That's when everyone's making a playoff push, and hopefully hopefully we're actually playing a little bit legit here. But after the trade deadline, we kept our team together. We made some significant upgrades in the last episode, and hopefully we can make the playoffs. But like I said, we need to win a crap ton in this episode. So our AHL team looks like they're on their way to another playoff. I don't really get it with the numbers it puts on all of the income and all that type of stuff. It always has like a recommended price or like a league average price, and it's always like my numbers are always under that, and people want to say, oh, it's just too much. It's like it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. So I don't know what's going on there, but it looks like we have a goaltender injury. As you guys saw, we had to sign Lear, but I didn't show you guys, but Velaheinen, whatever this guy's name is, he's been in the AHL, and let's just say he's been dominating. So he's earned the spot up in the AHL. Let's end up signing him. Or not signing him, calling him up, excuse me. Well, let's put him in goaltenders. Neuver, it looks like he's going to be the starter until he comes back. I didn't actually see how long he was going to be out. But let's go down here. Appleby's our starter. Lear, you're our backup. I probably should have signed another goaltender, but I couldn't because we have Ian Scott as our 6th goaltender. So Turris has been injured now. So who has been the most deserving in the AHL? So we got Blandisi down there. Let's just go by overall points. So I can't do math for crap. 64. I believe that was the most by far, if I remember correctly. Yeah, no one's even close. Blandisi, come on up. Gotta admit, listen to good music while we're going through this BGM mode is actually quite satisfying. But as for scouting goes, we're actually scouting a bunch of guys in the WHL. So forward 6 weeks, we're just gonna keep going there. So Corpusel's back. That is good to see because we need our goaltenders back there. So did Velaheinen actually play? No, he did not. Okay, so Put him back in, and let's move him back down before I get back into the game. So get him. You're going back down. You're probably going to be mad about it, but you know what? You were up there for a good reason. So let's go down there. Goaltenders, take him out because why not? Put him back in. Start a roll. Let's get back into simulating, where hopefully we can do better. Of course, we get another injury. So an injured neck out till March. What day are we even on right now? I don't even know. But defenseman, that is goaltenders. I clicked on defenseman. There we go. But we need a right-handed defenseman if we're going to try to call him up. Englund is not right-handed. Yaros, do we want to call up Yaros? 15 points. England's actually doing the best down here, so that's who we're going to call up. Let's bring him into the lineup. The lineup is all fixed, at least for now. But there we go. Another injury. I think that's one of our defensemen down there. Yep, it is. So luckily we do have an extra defenseman down here in Brian Strait. And then we have the other side guy that we could also use. Well, let's move the guys right up. And of course, now everyone's back from injury. So let's go see who it is. Okay, Turris is back from injury. So we will just take Blandisi out in for Turris. Simple 1-for-1. And then we'll just reset the lineup back to what it was. There we go. And we'll just leave Blandisi up there for right now, just in case we need it, which we don't, because that is another defenseman that needs to get back in the lineup. So we don't have another. Yep, we don't. So okay. So let's. Can we send Blandisi down in exchange for another defenseman? Also, don't have anyone we can really sign either that we could possibly bring into the lineup. But it looks like we're just catching injuries galore here. Let's put in not you. Let's put in Lemieux, since you have been there all year long looking for a spot. Kevin Shattenkirk's back, so we're just going to keep going with the injuries. Keep bringing them back in the lineup. Let's take Straight back out. Put in Shattenkirk, and then just kind of reset the lineup back to what it was. Send Brodin down there, and perfect. We'll just leave Straight up there for now, just in case of injuries. But looks like we have won the last couple of games as well. That's good to see. You know, if we're doing better in the later parts of the season, and that means, you know, the moves we made are definitely helping our team. But there we go. Put him back in the lineup down there. Hopefully we can have no more injuries for a while. But as soon as I say that, AJ Greer gets injured. So let's put in the new guy we just signed as well. Move him down. Just keep moving everyone that's played before up and more. This is why I don't turn on injuries right here. So maybe we'll just do it just for the playoffs if we ever can get there. But who is back? Alex Martinez is back. So let's go to... That's not what I want to go to. I want to go starting lineups, defense, take Englund out. Damn, simulating through all this is really getting tough, especially with all of the damn roster changes and all of the other guys that just keep coming back. So Lucia, let's put him back in for let's put him back in for Lemieux, since that's where he was kind of playing right there. Put him back up there. Perfect. Can we get to the playoffs without another injury? Probably not. But it looks like we've only lost, I think, 2 games so far this episode, at least in the NHL. And our AHL team still performing down there, 47, 23, and 7 currently. Shattenkirk hurt again. You hate to see it. We might have to change it to for just playoffs if we ever get there, honestly, because this is just brutal trying to deal with all this. So let's put him over there, and I guess we'll do something like that for now. I mean, I don't really know what else to do. As soon as I can say that, Shattenkirk comes back. So let's finish it out here. And of course, another injury, but we already have someone up there, so we don't have to make any more roster moves. We can just do it. So Blandisi, get back in the lineup and just slide those guys up. We got a few more games left, and then this year is wrapped up as well. 32, 38, and 9 so far. We got a couple of games left. Come on, people, just stop getting injured. Just please, just protect yourselves. You know what? For the last couple of games, you know what? Who wants to play offense? Englund, you're going to be the guy. Screw it. 3-on-3. I might as well just best lines it at this point, since we're not going to make the playoffs. let's go to just put Brendan Smith in there, because why not? Maybe I'll just best lines it from here on out. And either, I guess, just replace him with someone down there. 2 more guys. Oh, my gosh. Just replace him at this point. I really don't care. There we go. 32, 41, and 9. I can almost guarantee it that we did not make the playoffs. So, yep. We finished with 73 points. So, that is not horrible. Not good on that part. In March, we went 8-7. So, I mean, we did pretty well there. However, in April, 0-5, especially when we need to win games. You hate to see it. I mean, 0-5, we just lose the last 5 games. But let's recap the video here with, or not the video, recap the season. So we started out, we made some pretty decent signings in the offseason. However, Kyle Turris, I mean, what we signed him to do, he did. I mean, as far as points-wise, he was there. Plus, minus, everyone struggled, so we can't really put it just on him there. Kapanen, you know, making his potential known that he stepped up later in the year, especially on the first line there. 27 goals for him. I believe that is a career high for him. Ryan Spooner, I mean, he saved us last year. Got the first ever goal in Seattle Attack history. Putting up 47 points in the first line. You love to see that one. Jean-Guerreau Pajot, you know, second line centerman, 44 points. I'll definitely take that one. Dzingel, kind of up and down year for him a little bit. 24 goals, though, moving around from the, you know, the third line to the second line, down to the fourth line, I think, at some point, and back up to the third line. Moved up to the second line when Dvorak got hurt. But Richie came in, did pretty well. It wasn't like his, 54-point season last year. But, you know, he still has time to grow, move into his own body. Dvorak got injured at the end of the season, but 39 points, you know, not the best. I was expecting a little bit more out of him. 49 points last year. I was expecting hopefully about 50 points this year, but it just wasn't in the cards for him. Danault playing on the third line most of the year, except for when Pajot was struggling. 38 points, it's still pretty good. I mean, nothing to really look over there. Lindholm, hopefully he'll come back next year and do well. I mean, coming over to a team that's not doing so well is not the easiest task. But Colborne, Nash, Blandisi, Gaudreau, Brown that was on the fourth line, all those guys filled in pretty fine there. No real bad things to say about them. Looking forward for next year. This is probably where it's a little bit most interesting with the minus category at least. I mean, Shattenkirk leading the way in points, just dominating there, doing very well on the power play. But the minus stats for everyone just look horrible. Looks like Brodin stepped up a little bit at the end of the year as far as... Actually, no, he didn't. He had the same points. But, a couple of guys came in, did pretty fine. As far as goaltenders go, I mean, just a tough year for everyone. Neuver, kind of glad we didn't trade him. But then again, I think he is up this year, so I probably will not want to re-sign. So it looks like it's going to be Korpisello's show going on forward from here. But save percentage, goals against, everything there not looking too great. We'll check standings in a second, but as far as the AHL team goes, let's go to forwards and look at them from here. So Gaudreau still the top down there, even though we had him up for the last month or so had him up for the last month or two of the season. But Blandise, we brought him up as well at the later part of the season. Shaplik came out. I mean, he started on a third line, I think, this year. And we ended up moving up to the first line on our left wing. David Case, another guy that started on our fourth line this year, did all right. Mark McNeil, I mean, he filled in where he could. De La Rose did pretty well. Lucia, Birchie, all these guys down here doing pretty well. A lot of guys in and out of the lineup, obviously at the end with injuries and stuff. I mean, some guys are making themselves. Wolski, I mean, he started out pretty strong. He had 5 points, I think, 6 games, something like that. But then he kind of fell off after that one. But let's go on to defense. See who did that. So Olofsson, 25 points. Englund, 22. Yaros, Liljegren. Liljegren's first year in the AHL. Hopefully he'll definitely improve on that number next year. Maybe his overall will go up as well. Hobbs did pretty well for his first year. McDonald, Polka was down there for a little while. White and Satcher played 1 game. Goaltenders, obviously, our number one guy down there, no question about it. He was 24-8, I believe, so I don't think he actually ended the season very well at all. But Appleby did okay backing him up. But next year, we'll have a lot of rookies down there, a lot of new faces, and most of those guys probably won't be there. But let's go check out the standings and see where we finished up. We had to scroll pretty far down to the number 27 spot. Not at the bottom, but we should have potentially the 6th pick if it went by points. But if we'd stop by points, we might be able to get into the top 3, maybe probably top 5 if we're being honest. But you know, we got some guys down there that did not do well. The Rangers did not do well at all. That's kind of surprising. Vegas didn't do well at all either. Buffalo, Anaheim. So it's a mix of both from both conferences. But let's go see how we did overall as far as, you know, all of the other stats go. So goals for, bottom of the league. I expected that. Goals against. We should be down here as well. Yep. Power play goals. We had 63. So our power play was good. At 18.8%. It's up there. Our power play was good. But yet we sucked everywhere else. So penalty kill. We're number 27 or something like that. So I think we were like right in the middle or something where I couldn't see it. So yeah, 82.9. That's not, you know, bad at all. The last 10 though, look at that, 1 and 9. Yeah, hate to see that. 16, 18, and 7 on home ice, and 16, 23, and 2 on away. Not looking good there. I mean, 1 and 7, especially at the last 10. But this is something I don't usually do. But I'm going to turn off injuries now, go through the playoffs for the AHL team, so you guys can go to the next video. And next video will be the off season, and that way we can, you know, enjoy it together. So let's turn off injuries. That's great. Our AHL team finished with 105 points. That is incredible. But either way, let's get right into it. First round versus the Utica Comets. What can they do? AJ Greer, you know what? We're not even going to deal with injuries. Yeah, our owner's disappointed. We are too. Let's just continue through all of those guys. Yep, we don't care at this point. That's starting off strong. 0-2, 0-3. Are we about to? We just got swept. 0-3. First rounded. I mean, we scored 4 goals overall. Not definitely the start we wanted for the AHL playoffs, but either way, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here as we, you know, simulate up to the rest of the year. Let's just talk about next year. I mean, I don't see ourselves making any big changes. I mean, we made a lot of trades this year that, you know, we planned for them to be big next year. We got the draft coming up. We'll probably have definitely a top 10 pick, so that's something we're going to look forward to. We got some notable names in mind for that one. But like I said, I'm not expecting any big changes from our side. Probably just free agency. Hope we get maybe a really good goaltender, you know, available in the market. So maybe some really good forwards, good wingers. Probably try to get a better second line center. We were scouting out trades for one at least, but it never really ended up working out as far as the trades went. We wanted to improve some of the parts of our game. But it looks like the Arizona Coyotes are the Stanley Cup champions, along with the Rochester Americans winning in the AHL. But as for now, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. We've been recording for long enough. But like I said, I hope you guys do enjoy this series going forward. Like I said, next video will be the off season. And no really big changes. Unless something crazy comes up, will be in the works. But anyway, guys, like I said, if you did enjoy, hit the like button down below. Subscribe if you have not already. And make sure you guys check out the playlist of all the other franchise mode videos. And as always, guys, we'll see you next time.
I want you forever, even when we're not together. Scars on my body so I can take you wherever. Like, I want you forever, even when we're not together. Scars on my body, I can look at you and